Hey everybody, Eric here on Wednesday, October 26th, but you're not going to see this until Thursday, October 27th at the earliest because it's very late. So this won't get posted tonight. It'll go up at noon tomorrow. Uh, Noon tomorrow being noon on October 27th, 2022. Let's jump right in. I got a bunch of stuff, and we're going to start with something a little wild that happened. Has not happened in a long time. The previews came in, and the Marvel previews came in, and the DC came in. It has been a long time since all three catalogs came in at the same time, but they are all here. All right, that's out of the way. Let's get to the comics. And we'll just start off. These are in no particular order. It's how they were put in the bag. We have Human Target. Number something. Which one is this? I'm going to guess it's 9 because of this, or it could be 8. It's 8 or 9. Where does it tell me? It's hidden somewhere on the cover. There it is, 8. Human Target 8. I was looking for book 8. From Black Label, DC. Human Target has been poisoned. He's trying to figure out who poisoned him. It's been a good book so far. Then we have Barbaric Axe to Grind, number 3, from Vault Comics. This might be the last one. Can I take a quick? And book 2. So this is the last issue of book 2 of Barbaric. A fun comic with a talking axe and a barbarian who has to do what he's told as long as it's virtuous, something like that. And it's a lot of fun. Then we have Batman Beyond the White Knight, number 6. I just saw book 6. It's a DC. It's a Black Label. It's a fantastic series. The whole White Knight series has been great, and I love these alternate universe versions of these characters. There's the back cover, but just any of the White Knight stuff, really, really good. Excuse me. Moon Knight Annual, number 1. And I specifically chose this cover because it's got the Werewolf by Night. Moon Knight first appeared in Werewolf by Night. This is sort of an homage to that cover, I believe. So, yeah, it's, extra thick. Well, it's not square bound or anything, but extra pages, extra cost. But always fun. Annuals can be a lot of fun. We'll see what Moon Knight and the Werewolf get up to. And then we have DC versus Vampires, number 10 of 12 from DC Comics. One of the things that DC does, I don't know if Marvel does it, some of their variant covers are cardstock and they're $1 more. And I always wanted to get those because the covers are usually really, really good, but I'm not willing to pay an extra $1 just for a cool cover. So this is the cover I got, but I'm really digging this series. And it's drawing to a close, only 2 issues left. Then we have, this is a one-shot. This is Criminal Macabre, Count Crowley, From the Pit They Came. And written by Steve Niles and David Dastmalchian. I'm not sure how you say his name. It's the guy that played Polka Dot Man in The Suicide Squad, is the writer of this comic. I have the trade paperback of the first Count Crowley story and didn't even realize that it was written by the guy that I had it before he was Polka Dot Man, and I didn't know he was an actor or anything. Just thought Count Crowley was a cool. Count Crowley is a monster movie host who also fights real monsters. And Criminal Macabre, Cal McDonald, great character. So Should be fun to read a nice team up between the two of them. And as I said, it's just a one shot. Here we go. Here is an issue 1 from Dark Horse. I believe this is a 4-issue miniseries. This is called Dead Mall. Issue 1, Dark Horse Comics. Here's the reason I bought it. Adam Cesare is the writer on this book. Whoops. I don't even know what it's about. I didn't bother to look at the solicitation. I saw that Adam Cesare wrote it. I bought it. That's the way it is. He's a great author. So I'm buying. I want to support him. I'm buying the book. Plus it's horror. I mean, I knew he was doing this book before I even saw it in the catalog. But if I'd seen a book called Dead Mall, I would have looked at the solicitation. Probably something I'd pick up in trade paperback. But again, Adam Cesare. Gonna be buying that stuff. All right. Let's see. Is this the last issue? Take a quick peek. Without seeing anything. Yep. So, Samurai Sonia, issue 5 from Dynamite Comics. Apparently this is the last issue. At least it's the end of the storyline. In the catalog, Dynamite does not like to tell you how many issues are in a series. Some are ongoing. Some are just a few issues. Maybe they do it because they want to leave it open in case it's so popular they decide to keep going. I don't know. But this is 5 issues. It's the end. And it doesn't say that anywhere in the catalog when you're ordering stuff like this. But Samurai Sonia, we'll see how it ends. Another one-shot for Halloween. The Return of Chilling Adventures in Sorcery. Number 1 from Archie Comics. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 4 stories in here. I like the Archie horror stuff. And again, just in time for Halloween. Then we have another specific... Wait a minute. Oh, no. Oh, see, I think maybe... This isn't the cover. Something happened. Something went wrong. Maybe I didn't want to pay extra for the cover. There was a cooler cover, I think. But anyway, this is Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead from DC. It's their horror line. This is issue 2 of 6, and it is written by Bruce Campbell, which is why I'm getting the individual issues and not waiting for a trade paperback. Yeah, there was a really cool cover, but I think it was the card stock that was an extra $1, and like I said, I'm just not. We're going to get into this in a minute, but I'm not paying an extra $1 just for the cover. Unless it's super spectacular. But anyway, Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead, issue 2. Written by Bruce Campbell. Creepshow, issue 2. This is from, it looks like it's Image. So again, more horror. Just, you know, me and horror comics. Or horror anything. But really cool cover. Anthology horror book. Not sure how many issues it's going to be. I think 4. But, and so there's a couple of stories in here. There you go. All this good Halloween I'm going to have to read all this stuff. All the Halloween stuff this weekend. We got another issue 1. And this is... Whew, how do I do this? This is Nightfall Double Feature, issue 1. It is from Vault Comics, featuring the Cemeterians and Denizen. 2 feature stories, 64 pages, horror's finest. I thought it had a flip cover. So it's 2 different stories. So I see the Cemeterians. Was that the first story? And then... Okay, so Denizen is one story. The Cemeterians is the other story. Here's a nice little intermission picture for you. A bunch of different people working on it, and it's horror. It's Vault does a great job with horror, and I like the whole double feature aspect, so it's on my list. Excuse me. Then we have Catwoman, Lonely City, Book 4, DC Black Label, oversized as you can see. I believe this is the last one. It looks like it. I like these. I like what Black Label does. They're outside continuity. Some are very adult. Some are just telling stories that don't quite fit into continuity. So, Catwoman, Lonely City. All right. So then I'm going to do some trades, and then there's a whole thing that happened. So I got 2 trade paperbacks. This is Star Wars Dr. Aphra, Crimson Reign. This is volume 4 of the current Dr. Aphra run. And the Crimson Reign was I think it was a mini series that touched on all the ongoing titles. I was watching videos, someone was talking about this a little bit and said the Crimson Reign part isn't a big part of this storyline. It does touch on it, but Dr. Aphra, my favorite Star Wars character, is a good series. And then we have Ghost Rider Unchained, and this is volume 1 of the current run. It has Ghost Rider 1 through 5 of as I said, the 2022 run. It brings back Johnny Blaze in a big way. The original Ghost Rider, well, to us. And he was the king of hell for a long, long time. Well, now he's back. And I guess this starts with him talking to a shrink, and we don't know why he's back, why he's not still reigning in hell. But I've always been a Ghost Rider fan. I read the last series, possibly the series before that. There's some I haven't read, but I wanted to get, in on the ground floor-ish, since I'm not getting it monthly. But there you go. Gotta love those covers. And just for those, if anybody cares, the Dr. Aphra is issues 16 through 20. All right, so now, here's the thing. I was talking about not spending an extra $1 just for a fancy cover, but how about an extra $16 for an extra fancy cover? So I'm going to show you some books here. This is a mini-series from Dynamite. I was going to wait for the trade paperback. So it's not like I wasn't going to buy this anyway. Excuse me, my throat is a little dry. I'm going to take a little bit of water. There we go. All right, I was going to buy this anyway. It's a 5-issue miniseries. I just got the first 4 issues because issue 4 came out this week, and I just had to have this cover for issue 4. And I mentioned to the proprietor of Comics Argo, Sheffield, Ohio, I was like, man, I really want this cover, but I don't feel like I can justify just buying issue 4 of something. And he says, well, I believe I still have the first 3 issues. So we found the first 3 issues, multiple covers, different covers for each one. So I got to choose my covers. Here we go. So I'm going to go in order. So the cover that created this whole fiasco will be the last one that you see. But the book is The Army of Darkness versus Reanimator. Necronomicon Rising. So this is issue 1. And I liked this just sort of playful, cartoony kind of cover. Ashley J. Williams versus Herbert West, apparently. I don't know. So that's issue 1. And then we have issue 2 with an Arthur Sodam cover, however you say his name. He's the guy that did all the Marvel Zombie stuff. But of the choices I had, I liked this cover the best. Issue 3, another Arthur Sodam cover. Again, of the 3 choices, I liked this one. And then finally, comic book fans, if there's any like true, I hate to say it that way, but real comic book fans watching this, they'll understand. Anybody else, I don't think you're going to get this. So issue 4 of the Army of Darkness versus Reanimator that just came out had this alternate cover. And I'm probably, after I read this is probably going up on the wall, this cover. So this is the Army of Darkness versus Reanimator, issue 4. And this is an homage to the very first appearance of the Punisher. So I don't remember the issue number of whichever Spider-Man series it was. But basically, this was the Punisher. Spider-Man was in his crosshairs. They have the Comics Code Authority thing and the bar across the top and the little, it looks so much like the Punisher cover, of course, with different characters. I think the coloring might even be the same-ish, and they put that skull in there. Well, I guess that's on all of them, now that I look. I thought maybe that was a little Punisher homage, but that's on all the other copies of the book, too. But yeah, I really, really wanted this cover. Couldn't justify buying just issue 4 when I knew I was going to buy the trade paperback anyway. So, picked up the individual issues. What are you going to do? And there's one more issue to go. But, man, I love this cover. I'm a sucker for nostalgia. So that's it. That's everything I picked up this week. Pretty big haul, I believe. Especially a couple weeks ago, there were like 3 books. That was it. As normal, didn't think of a question ahead of time. We'll go generic. Does any of this catch your eye? Out of all of this stuff, what is it that you would be interested in reading? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. If you know which issue of which Spider-Man title had the first appearance of the Punisher, let me know down in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. You know, the YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K. ERIKSMITH 5757. That's all I have for you this week. So until next week, read more comic books.